I lost a die roll. Who am I playing? Barkick. I'm still keeping the chat here. No one's really mentioned if that was like good or bad in life. Still kind of figuring out as I record how I like this setup to be. Happy to hear feedback. Am I mulliganing? I mean, I can't really do anything right now. But I do get a draw, and then I have some decent threes. Play Nimbus Night Out and then be able to get Divination. It just sucks that there's this conflagration, but that's going to happen in my deck. So, we shall see if Markapul ends up wanting to mulligan as well. Also, again, I'm playing 18 lands, so on the draw, there's a pretty strong likelihood that I get at least a third pretty quickly, and probably fourth with the Ill-Tempered Cyclops as needed. Alrighty. I'm starting to get used to orienting myself to this horizontal stat. I know that you can get rid of it, which might be better to see more of what's going on for you viewers at home, but I still really need, I feel, this. Oh, I have a stop in my upkeep. Don't need that right now. We can get rid of that for the moment. I don't have any double anything, right? So we'll just lead with the mountain. I was thinking like a 2-drop or anything now. Old-playing Yukar is actually a good draw here. If my opponents have a quick start, that'll be nice. Double black into Bloodcraze Hoplite. Okay, kind of a quick draw. Get a little bit of damage in from my opponent. We have nothing. Okay. Let's see if what I was saying about this whole 18 land thing works out. Ooh, aggressive colors. Not awesome for me. Would love a land so I can get the Nyxborn Triton down, though. That would just be the bee's knees. Otherwise, I discard on the screw. Alright, something super powerful? No. Oh, okay, so maybe this is a control black-red deck. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, I still need to figure out how to get rid of some of those auto yields. No! Alright. What do I ditch? I think Rage of Purphoros. Conflagration is going to be the hardest to cast with the Unicorn. Once you get out of the screw, it will be castable, and it's something powerful enough that I need to get back in this game. Everything else, I mean, one land, I start getting there and can start stabilizing. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. We'll get rid of the Rage of Purphoros. Clean up step. Goodbye. Okay, there's still a bit of hope in this first game. What would really be sad for me right now is if instead of drawing land, I drew my dragon. Ooh, so my opponent's going for it. It's like, you're screwed. I'm going to try to get in on this aggressive plan right now. Not exactly the worst idea. Not exactly the best idea, but I don't know what's in my opponent's hand, so who knows. Hey, land! Woohoo! Yeah, slamming the Triton down over the Opaline Unicorn. Oh no. Cancel. Sorry, I did bestow. So that I can try to start trading off creatures here, preventing some damage, all that kind of stuff. Probably like a Follow the Hammer or a Bolt, or... No, not a Bolt, so that's good. Probably a removal spell here, but just gotta stay alive. Oh, hello. I forget what you do. I just remember I lose a lot of damage, right? At the beginning of each movement, it does 2 damage to player unless he or she second. Well, I guess I'm just losing. I'm not sacrificing a creature. If I click OK, what happens? Nothing. Okay, well, that was not a great draw. But I do have cards. The thing is, my opponent can... Do I have a way to deal with this? I don't think I do. So somehow I have to get on the offensive before my opponent kills me, which I don't think is going to happen. Let me think. If I divinate now, I'll probably draw into a land, play my 4th land, sets me up for future turns, which I kind of need. But that's kind of the same thing as an Opaline Unicorn at this point, which will at least allow me to also start getting Ill-Tempered Cyclops online. Deepwater Hypnotist is another card to trade, but I kind of already have that. Yeah, so play right here is the Unicorn. We need to get like the Ill-Tempered Cyclops on as soon as possible. Again, I don't think this is going to be able to win in time, but because I don't have a way to deal with the god. And man, when Mogus comes down, if you're already behind, ooh. And I'm also taking a bunch of damage here. Or my opponent's just happy to wait for another bit of devotion. I have Pinned to the Earth. That doesn't do much. I'm just gonna pass the turn. I could play the Ill-Tempered Cyclops, but I really don't feel like there's... no, I guess I have to at least try to play it out. I don't really mind showing the Ill-Tempered Cyclops. Maybe I should just play Deepwater Hypnotist. I don't know. But my opponent, like, is killing me next turn. There's no doubt about it. I assume these guys are attacking in. This guy's... Mogus is probably going to be activated, like, and become a huge dude, and I have to chump block. Yeah, exactly. But it was worth kind of playing my guy to see what my opponent, the rest of my opponent's deck's doing, which I'm not particularly scared about, to be honest. Anything else? Probably land at this point, which is way too late. Yeah, and I will just go ahead and concede. I mean, I could try to wait and see if I see more cards, but I don't think it's really worth it at this point. Alright. Any good sideboard cards against a kind of an odd deck? Black-red, seemingly aggressive, but there's like the 1/4 and the Rotted Hulk. Not exactly a great deck either. Not that I'm complaining. Do I have any way to deal with Mogus? Not really. I guess Stratus Walk if I can try to do the race. That's not what my deck wants to do. I think I like the bounce to try to like jerk around some of the Mogus plan. I'm going to keep it the way it is. And then just try not to be screwed. You want to play first? Yeah, I still want to play first. This is a much better keep. Nice 2-drop, even with something that's playable. And we can start being the aggressor here. And look, I got my dragon! Yes! I want to stoke some forges, please. You want to let me stoke that forge? Ooh, Fall Hammer. Okay, now I do just want lands. Attacking with Deepwater Hypnotist. Play my Unicorn, start ramping into my Forge Stoker Dragon. Blood Crazed Hoplite. Okay, probably gonna follow the hammer it, not too sure. Do I offer the trade? Do I care? I think I do just offer the trade. Because once my guy gets going, that's good. My opponent may not even want to trade because my opponent wants to be the aggressor. My opponent is down for the block. I'm down for the block. I just want to clear the board, stay alive, and get my dragon online. So 1 land gets me a nice turn. Oh, it's 6. It's not 5. Well, at least I get a Cyclops next turn. Kragmabacha! See, that was a good trade for me. Now my opponent's at 2-3. It's not going to do a whole lot. There's 4. I do like that. And we get to keep up our Retraction Helix. Pretty A-okay. Yeah. And we'll just pass the turn. If something nutty happens with Kragma Butcher, we'll just bounce it. Oh wait, I can't. I can't bounce it. I need to tap a bunch of dudes. Well, whatever. Bile Blight! You're killing my Ill-Tempered Cyclops! Okay. Opponent attacks in for 2. Not bad now, but will get bad. Well, what's Inspired is trigger. Hey! Dragon time! Hopefully my opponent doesn't have the really good removal spell, but I think it's worth it to try getting it going here. Alright, if you stay alive through like an Asphyxiate or a Lash of the Whip, nope, Slam, Killing. Oh, that's okay. I'm very okay with that. Cool. Yay! Yeah, so that's not happening. No blocks. Thank you very much. Alright. Let's get this into victory. Fellhide Brawler, didn't you want to attack with your Fellhide Brawler? You're silly. Guess my opponent want to see if I was maybe blocking with something. Alright, attacking with Forgestoker Dragon. We can kill the Brawler. We can kill other things. Mostly I just want to protect the Forgestoker Dragon, which means I need to keep 1 blue up at all times, and I have 4 other mana. I think we'll just pin to the earth the Kragma Butcher, and go from there. Because I just want to stay alive at this point. And taking 6 a turn isn't going to be that good. Next turn we can just kill the Brawler. And if we start flooding out, then we'll be able to eventually kill the Kragma Butcher, but for now we're okay. There's no need to do 1 damage to the Brawler. It's not going to do much. And nice thing is, once we get to some lands, we should be able with the Dragon kill any lands, any golems, any lands that become golems. Anything really scary, we can use our Fall of the Hammer to take out. And again, we're just protecting the Forgestoker Dragon right now. Nyxborn Eidolon, is that being bestowed? No, it's not being bestowed. I'm okay with 4 points. Oh, I see what you're doing here, friendos. You're just trying to race me. I don't think that's going to work super duper well. So you're attacking with everything. I'm going to use the Fall of the... Maybe I just trade off here. No, because again, I need to keep I can't let Forgestoker Dragon die, because if I do, I mean, that's just the end. And my opponent's in a deck that could easily happen. Those are the attacks. Go for it. No blocks. And then, yeah, we're definitely going to do a fall against the Golem. Just get rid of it. We can pick off these guys shortly. My opponent's losing, lands at each step of the game, and we're just staying alive. We just staying alive, staying alive. Rise the Eagles. I think I have enough time to just go ahead and wait until I draw 1 more land again to protect the dragon, so that's what we're going to do. I'm totally signaling that I have... Well, actually, no, because this guy can still block. Never mind. We'll just take out this guy. Now I'm signaling that I have Retraction Helix or something like that, because I could also just go ahead and kill the Brawler. But I'm okay with, 5 points of damage coming through with the hammer or something. I don't think there's another way to die that quickly. And even at worst case, I can Retraction Helix, whatever lethal thing comes down. Like if it's a Kragma Butcher or whatever. Ragemonger. Oh yeah, so maybe this could get there. I don't know what other Minotaur there is. Okay, attacking him with both dudes. Going down to 6, I'm okay with. It does mean I have to be very careful about next turn. Luckily, I do exactly what I wanted, so I can go ahead and play the Rise, keep up my Retraction Helix, have 2 chump blockers, and go ahead and bash him with Forgestoker Dragon. So that's going to happen. Love that my opponent can't make a dude this turn and next turn with the lands. So we might be able to get there. It's a little dicey. I have to be careful. If my opponent plays the God, it means I I can only take 4 damage next turn, so that's something to be aware of. Don't need a mountain, that's for sure. And now we got our 2 blockers here, which are just gonna chump. Oh shoot! Can't do that. A Feast of Dreams. Creature, orange. Okay. Taking out my bird. I keep forgetting that these both require tapping, so I don't know why I was waiting for that last land, which means I should have thought differently about all that. But I still have 2 chumpers. Okay. So my opponent's going to go for it. Might be able to gain some life. No, it's only red right now. Ooh, all creatures get something? Don't know. In any case, this guy is going here. This guy is going there. We take 2. Do you have more for me? Well, we'll find out. I need 3. I have 3. I can't kill anything else, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to do damage. Yay! The dragon! Yes! Alright, I'm happy. This draft was officially successful just for the fact that Forge-Stoker Dragon got to be played and win me a game. Okay, let's focus on actually winning the entire 8-4. And how do I want to do that? Have my opponent not draw a mythic rare and have me draw my rares? Yeah, I think that's kind of the same game plan. Maybe I do just want some more like beef on the ground. But having another 6-drop, I mean, at that point I'm just gone, right? I think I'm going to bring in the Serpent over the Cyclops. I don't want to get rid of the Rise because that's kind of like a win condition, but the Cyclops is pretty much, by the time it comes down, going to be on guard duty and stabilizing the board and not attacking, I assume. And that's exactly what the Serpent's going to be doing as well, but it comes down a turn earlier, so that seems nicer to me. I haven't gotten my Starfish out, interestingly enough. Yep, we'll go like this. Okay, let's see. Ooh, this I think we're going to have to throw away. Sure, we're on the draw, but remember I have more mountains in my deck than islands. And I can't play a single spell that I have, so we're going to have to mulligan this guy. Mulligan. Dos! This is okay. I can bounce to stay alive, but one land gets me going. Kind of was my issue last time, so hopefully my 18 land deck won't be as annoying. We shall see. Divination, having mold is a little bit like less of an issue. I won't discard as readily. Still, my opponent has a lot of 2-drops, and me not having 2-drop, and my opponent being on the play can get a little dicey there. Or I could just get really lucky and my opponent doesn't have one of his or her many 2s, and I kind of did. Sweet. Especially because we drew a land, so we're going to be really set to get a 2-3 down and start gumming up the ground. Probably going to save this Naiad for a Bestow later. Maybe just Divinate after Crackling Trine's happening. I feel much more confident with my opponent not landing a 2-drop. Ragemonger, okay. My opponent has a mini Minotaur theme going, but isn't like a really scary Minotaur deck in any way, shape, or form. The dragon! Okay, now I really want to not lose this game. Or not, I don't even care if I lose. I just really want to be able to get to cast my Forge-Stoker Dragon. Alright. Does my opponent go in for the free attack, and do I block, even if my opponent does? 2 damage, not a big deal. Getting a combat trick out of my opponent's hand is fine. Well, now I definitely don't block. Hubris will be okay. Not great, but it'll set my opponent back quite a bit. When the time comes. No blocks. Alright. I think we just use Divination here because we want to keep hitting our land drops. It sucks that we're going to get a little bit behind on the board and we're going to take some more damage. But I think we just need to get that land down so we can continue our game plan. Because what else do I do? Keep Hubris up? I mean, it does set my opponent back a lot of turns. I do actually like that. But it only works if I'm actually kind of progressing the board. So I think I will, yeah, go that route. Play Divination first, see what happens. Fated Conflagration. Okay, yeah. We'll rock that guy down. Go and attack him with Crackling Triton. Take some more Lex, possibly 5, but that's not the end of the world. And then start looking to play the late game. Trade off cards, get some more tempo, but we have a lot of power in hand, so that's pretty cool. This guy can turn into a removal spell when it needs to. The fact that Fated Conflagration can exist now, we can cast it hard right now, is pretty awesome. Alright, so we're just rocking out, my opponent's just rocking out some damage here. Which isn't great, because I do kind of want, oh, and my opponent wants to go with lifelink. That's okay, I'm not looking to race in this game, I'm looking to just stabilize and not die. So if that's, my opponent wants to waste a card doing that, I'm very cool with it. My opponent's not progressing the board, which is wonderful as we draw more relevant spells. Question is what I want to do. I could Fated Conflagrate in order to guarantee some nice scry and set up my next turn, maybe get my next land online. I could go ahead and Nimbus Naiad to then have a 4/5 blocker, which will at least kind of trade. Hubris is fun as a backup, but I feel like I don't really need to do that quite yet. 3, 4, 5. So maybe just do Prescient Chimera for the double blocks. The thing is, I don't really want to do... I don't want to be interacting with my opponent while I'm tapped out, since I'm so low on life. I can get pretty blown out from some of the cards my opponent has, such as like Feast of Dreams. So I think we do just keep Fated Conflagration and Hubris up. We'll probably end up Hubrising if my opponent wants to continue to play this Rage Monger thing. I don't like not progressing my board. Oh no, but I can play Charlatan. Okay, that's definitely that's the play right there. We're playing Charlatan and then keeping Hubris available. I love it. Allows us to get some card, develop our board while setting my opponent back quite a bit. What else does my opponent have here? Interesting. An Eye Gouge. I'm really confused by that. What's going on? Did my opponent mean to do that? Why did my opponent just play Eye Gouge? Just to mess with me, huh? Just to mess around. Holy moly, hello. 2/2 red Minotaur creatures with haste onto the battlefield. Right, so we take 2 damage, we're going to bounce all this other stuff. It's going to put us in a little bit of a bind. Question is, do I just want to bounce the Minotaur and kill it, which is what Hubris would do? I mean, I do have ways to deal with these guys. And putting the Everflame Eidolon, being able to back and bestow isn't great. 1 extra point of damage isn't going to kill me. Well, I'm definitely blocking 1 Minotaur. I think I just bounced the other Minotaur because now the Hubris is a kill spell. And yeah, this guy is a thing, but I have other ways to deal with it. Yeah, it's going to happen. I don't know if this is the right choice, but I think it is. Sigiled Starfish. I still have to deal with this Ragemonger and the Everflame Eidolon because it's still very killing me. But the fact that if I kill a Ragemonger, I have decent enough blocks. It's just a bummer they don't have 1 more land, so I can't Fated Conflagration plus Sigiled Starfish. I could Sigil and Nimbus Naiad, but I think it's time to get rid of this Bestow dude here. I could play Sigiled Starfish and keep my Crackling Triton available to kill something, but that's not really fun. Yeah. I'll just pass the turn. I'm gonna Conflagrate now. We'll get our Scryon, we'll get our next land, which will be good for the dragon. And really that's my goal anyway. Just cast the dragon. Just play that dragon out. There's nothing my opponent can do to counter Conflagration, so I can just go ahead and double block the Minotaur. Trade off with my Triton, which is just fine. Conflagrate with the Ragemonger. And 3, 4, 5, 6. And then maybe try to bait out my opponent wasting a turn on that. There certainly could be like a removal spell, but it doesn't 2-for-1 me here, so that's okay. I really want my opponent just to go for like 6 damage. That would be sweet. But my opponent isn't. I think this... I don't know where I'm in the step right now. Well, can't wait, because I don't know what's happening, and I can't risk my opponent like actually doing 3 damage to me. I don't get a scry because it's not my turn. I forgot about that. I would have done it last turn if I had paid attention closer. But oh well. That's fine. Not grand. Does my opponent have a follow-up play? No. No. Well, then we're in pretty good shape, aren't we? What do I want to do? I need some defense. So we'll keep the Charlatan back for D. I don't think I'm attacking. So my opponent just pumps and kills. So we're maximizing mana. We can start putting the pressure on or get more defense on. I think I just want a lot of defense and pressure. So Prussian Chimera we'll start with. So we have a flyer next turn, and then we'll continue from there. Start taking over this game. Yeah, I'll offer a trade with my Charlatan. Probably a bad move. No, I'm not going to. I should have attacked first, if that was the case. We're going to keep the Charlatan for blocks. We see my opponent can put a lot of pressure out fast. Mogus comes down, I have 4 turns to win, so that's going to be pretty scary. Here we go. Happy to just trade off. Mogus is the only card I'm worried about, so I do want to start getting pressure on my opponent. My opponent seems to want to make some trades. I'm cool with that. Even if there's single cards in hand, last card comes out of hand, I have great follow-up here. But it's not the case. So now my opponent doesn't have a board, and I get to slam down a Forgestoker Dragon. I don't think there's 8 points of haste that can kill me. Oh my gosh. Is the dragon gonna get me there? Oh, Mogus? No, Marsh Mist Titan. Don't care about you. Go ahead, have your Marsh Mist Titan. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Alright, what do I want to do? Sigiled Starfish, block. I can't kill the I can't kill the Marsh Mist Titan with my Forgestoker Dragon. Maybe we just go ahead and play the Nyxborn Triton, as well as the Sigil Starfish, just so we have more like blocks up. I don't want to go down to 4. It just feels so bad, like chumping. Ugh. But I definitely want to attack with both. Take the advantage while I can. I could just bestow on and like do like 10 points in 1 turn, but that leaves me open really easily. So yeah, we're just gonna start doing the air thing. All right. So I think I'm actually just going to chump with Sigiled Starfish if my opponent attacks. Grim Guardian, okay. Yeah. Because that way, if my opponent taps out, or my opponent doesn't really have a lot going on, I'm assuming. I have to be careful, because I could try to go for it this next turn. Put the Naiad on the Nyxborn Triton. Because that's just like lethal in the air. But how do I lose this game? If my opponent has a way to keep me from dealing lethal this